everyone. Welcome to 2RightAngles, your guide to creative advertising and junior advertising portfolios. We are your hosts. I am Sarah.
And I'm Francesca. We're the two women behind Book 180, the first global 6-month, all online, 100% female-owned portfolio program. Every show is going to feature two creative industry leaders discussing their current favorite workout in the world, and then we'll review a junior creative portfolio together.
So join us as we highlight good work, great agencies, and ways to improve your portfolio so you can land your dream job in advertising. So on our very first show today, our two guests are Sarah Demkowski and Sean Coons. Sarah is an associate creative director at David Miami. She has won over 150 advertising awards, and in 2019, she was named the #4 most awarded copywriter by The One Show. And Sean is also an award-winning senior creative. He's a writer and producer at Walt Disney in LA. Sean works in the entertainment media sector of advertising, and his clients include ABC's The Bachelor, the Oscars, and RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay, hi, welcome, Sean and Sarah. We're so happy to have you guys here today on our very first episode of 2RightAngles.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Well, I think we wanted to start off by just kind of talking to you guys about what you love working in advertising and if there's any like favorite work you have out right now in the world. We'll start with Sarah. Yeah.
I think for me, what I love, like I honestly really do love writing. So I think being able to be creative for a job is really awesome. And it's different every day. Like not one day is the same. So if you are someone who, needs a lot of stimulation, I would say advertising is awesome because it is it's chaos, but I guess you could say controlled chaos. So yeah, always entertaining.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. For me, so my background before going into advertising, I really enjoyed performing and I enjoyed acting and doing improv and comedy. So for me, one of my favorite parts of transitioning into advertising was the ability to kind of take on and develop like a brand's voice and look at a brand like a character, if you will. And so many times you're juggling different clients. So you're doing totally different things and you're wearing different hats and becoming different voices, if you will. So I guess for me, like if you look at it as at a brand as a character, they have a very specific way they talk. They have certain beliefs. They look a certain way. So for me, that's just the most fun. It's pretending that you're writing for a character, and I don't know, it's probably like less appealing than a Times Square billboard, but when you are tasked with writing a manifesto or just like a brand's mission, that to me is like writing a little monologue. And I don't know, I really like it. I think that's fun. It's a challenge. It's like putting a little puzzle together.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Like, if any creative gets a chance to, I actually took comedy writing classes when I was a junior, and I didn't it was at the Second City. I didn't graduate from the program or anything, but I just took a couple of comedy writing classes, and I felt like it really helped me with my script writing because the big thing that the teacher taught us was to develop these characters and these backstories. It's not just mom one, kid one as like characters in your script, but you kind of give them names, you give them personalities, you set up the scene in your head, and it really helps your script writing improve.
That's also just free writing and just letting whatever come to mind come out and not really having a filter. I'm sure Sarah could attest to this too, but just being able to write and just let it all out, and then sometimes gold just comes out. And I think improv, and that has been a great background as well of yes and just continuing
Absolutely.
to pump out good ideas.
Yeah, it's funny you said that about Second City. My ECD the other day actually was saying that he loves writing like super intense castings up of people. Like normally you just put like 45 to 50 like women, like woman, any race or whatever. But he
Right.
likes putting like a whole backstory. Like he's like really into kite surfing. Like, and he's like, I always wonder like what they think about when they read mine. Cause he's like, no, because then like they get a feel for like the person. But
For sure.
I never
That's
thought of that.
so
Mine are like
fun.
bland.
Oh, absolutely. I used to hate writing casting specs, but that's like such a good tip actually to just make it more fun.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right, cool. So now we'll transition a little bit and we want to ask you guys, what is your current favorite ad out there in the world right now?
You can go
So,
first.
okay, cool. So mine, it's not really current, but I don't care. This is the ad that got me to think of ads differently, and I think it was right around the time where I started portfolio school. And I'll say it again: quilted northern toilet paper. To me, I think it was
Stop. That's hilarious.
8 years ago. 8 years ago. So if you look at these ads, I can't remember like the script verbatim, but so the one that comes to mind is this little statuette of a bunny on the ledge of a bathroom
Oh
sink.
yeah.
It's positioned towards the toilet, and the copy is just smash me into a million pieces. And so the whole thing is written from these little point of views of like decor around the bathroom. And so like I was trying to
Those were
break it down.
great.
You remember? Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
I was trying to break it down yesterday when I was thinking about this, but it could not be simpler. So I was like, the insight for this is going to the bathroom is not an enjoyable experience for everybody. So we all can relate to that. The concept, quilted northern toilet paper, works so well, people can forget their bathroom experience. It's literally the copy they use in the spot. It's just so obvious. But then the strategy is just flipping a typical toilet paper commercial on its head and looking at it from a different perspective. And that's why I think I loved it so much. It wasn't like, how many times do we have to hear about like the 2-ply or how many ply sheets and how soft it is? Like no one's going to feel that while you're watching a commercial. But what they are going to remember is when they're in aisle 10 of the grocery store, oh, this commercial made me laugh hysterically. And quilted northern comes to mind when I'm thinking of toilet paper.
Smash me. Dear God, smash me into a million pieces, Little Miss Puffytail thinks every time someone enters this room. For while the people who come in here can use quilted northern, a toilet paper that works so well they can completely forget their experience. Little Miss Puffytail can never forget. She can dream. Dream for the sweet, sweet swing of a careless elbow. Quilted northern. Designed to be forgotten.
What was so fun about that is that it had so many legs. Like there's endless bathroom decor that you can kind of make fun of.
There's so many good ones. There's the photo of a grandfather. It's like I always wanted to meet my great grandfather, but not like this.
Yeah, that was such good work. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that campaign.
I know it's not current, but sorry.
Oh
No,
no,
I
but
love
it's
it.
so funny. Like right when you said
The
it, I
writing's
didn't
good.
just
Yeah.
like I feel like for a writer, it's like one of the best campaigns. But for me, I feel like recently I like love liquid death stuff. Like it's just
so
very
good.
much my type of humor, and I feel like it's a good example of just like advertising that's entertaining. So you just think they're cool. Like I feel like I've heard anyone could pitch to them ideas. So I think about liquid death all the time since they're in-house. But recently they did they're always putting out stuff, but the one that made me laugh was the liquid taste test, where they did like a blind taste test of their new liquid death flavors. And they were like, would you like this or the most expensive items on earth? So then they would take like expensive food items and blend them up and like give them to people to try in a glass. So then you're just watching these people like gag. Like first they take a sip of water and they're like, yeah, I like that. And then they take the next thing, like one person just throws up and is like, I'm sorry. They don't like know what to do, but it's so funny.
I hope that this podcast like helps students like and undergrads or like juniors like just develop a taste level and like start to be curious about what's out in the world in advertising. And like I think it'll be cool to like always hear different senior creatives like current favorite thing. Like if I knew every ACDCD's CCO's favorite piece of work out there, I feel like I would just be like so much more equipped for interviews and things like that, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say also just for anyone listening that's finishing a program or whatever, just to have an answer to that question.
All right. So are you guys ready to review a portfolio?
Oh yeah.
Yes. The one thing that makes me feel old when I look at people's books is the amount of like fake case studies people do and the amount of videos. Because I'm like, I'm from a time when we just had print headlines and maybe a GIF or a GIF, however you want to say it. And that was like the height of.
I was
like,
gonna say the same thing, or like when we would say, "Oh yeah, we'll do a TikTok." Oh wait, now they're making that.
Yeah.
Now they actually have a TikTok in there.
Yes. All right. So Max McCaig is a recent copywriting graduate of the Creative Circus. He's got a great book. His Spotify work was shortlisted for the 2022 Young Ones competition, which is really cool.
Really cool.
But all right. So how do you guys usually open by looking at books? I typically go in order, but I know a lot of recruiters, or so I've heard, do like first campaign and then they jump to like the last campaign.
I've heard that a lot too.
That's what I hear too. But
so we'll go first and last.
Yes. Okay. So here we have the High Museum of Art. So the write-up is on the second Sunday of every month, the High Museum offers free admission when visitors bring their own ticket, whatever kind of ticket it may be, a scrap of paper, an old receipt, whatever trash you find under the seat of your car. That'll all get you inside. So art is more powerful than any piece of paper. Free admission, second Sundays, bring your own ticket. So rip the ticks. Open door policy. So these are all just some like out of homes, free for all. Art is meant to be priceless. Every second Sunday. And then we have some social posts. A lot of them are like, this is not a grocery list. This is not a punch card. This is not a gun wrapper. When you bring your own ticket, anything you have will get you in. Doesn't matter how many times it's been punched. You still get in free the second Sunday. And then this collection of physical and digital tickets are added to an evolving collage in the lobby of the museum. So
I guess my question is well, obviously I don't think Sarah and I have the answer to this, but was this an idea that Max had on his own, or is this something that High Museum is currently doing?
I'm going to jump in and assume that he had this idea. This is the activation that, although it's a good question, and maybe we can look it up afterwards, but when I first reviewed it, my gut instinct was that like this was his idea to like bring in more customers.
Yeah.
So I wish that, to me personally, I think this idea is really good. If that was Max's idea, I think that's a really great idea of getting new people in. I wish that was more clear to me that he came up with this idea for this activation, because if that was something High Museum was already doing, I feel like overall it feels a little small. But the fact that this was his strategy of getting people in, and if he was thinking that way, I think that feels bigger. And so I would love to have heard that this was his idea. It feels kind of like this is something High is already doing.
And also kind of what the High Museum is, because when I first, maybe I'm just not cultured, but I also was expecting it to be like a marijuana. Yeah. Maybe I'm just like a trash person, but I was assuming this was going to be about drugs in some way.
No, I think I did too. I thought every ticket was $4.20. But I agree. I obviously, I'm not an art director by trade, but visually, I love how all of these. I like the simplicity of some of this art direction on the side, and I love the idea of this collage of everything being a ticket. I think that there's something really cool there.
Yeah.
And I like art is meant to be priceless. That's a quote. I like that headline.
Something I wonder too for the write-up that might be helpful is, just saying like why all of a sudden you decided to make tickets. Like I'm assuming it's just to get people more opportunities to go to the museum. But it might be good to say like, we notice like, I don't know, even if it's like college students don't go to the museum because the tickets are super high priced because this is like the best art ever. I think it would be more helpful to kind of get into that.
I think that there are some campaigns in your book, Max, that I think the insight or like the universal truth is much more clear, and I think this can really benefit from, like Sarah was just saying, just some type of strategy or some line that says, why did we go this way? Is it because college students, the High Museum is noticing college students are not coming in like they used to, or that's a demo that they're trying to get. So what is the reason why we're going after XYZ? But cool. I've never seen someone do, I mean, I guess the Chicago Art Institute when I was in Chicago Portfolio School, but I don't see many art institutes or art museums. I think this is a really cool way.
Yeah, totally. And also too, because even if it's just like a free day, because I know the art museums in Chicago would have a free day, but it was like, at least this like is kind of cool because it feels like you're doing something to get in, where otherwise it's just like, here's your free day.
Totally. Yeah.
What should we look at next?
Should we try the first and last strategy?
Okay. Yes. So Wilson.
And I'm a tennis player, so this is exciting.
Ooh.
This is good.
I truly cannot play tennis. Like I could never hit it over the net. I would like hit it outside of the caged area, but like it would never go appropriately. So yes, this is Wilson Trinity. So with Wilson Trinity's Engage Core technology, Trinity tennis balls keep their bounce 4 times longer. The tennis balls keep you on the court as long as you need to be. It says when tennis balls last 4 times longer, fetch will have to wait. Oh, sad little dog.
I love that. That's so simple. Okay, I get it.
Cute. And then make every return feel like your first match, which is a print ad. And then lose your voice, not your bounce. A game ball that doesn't retire until you do. And then we have some outdoor ads. Keep up the good game. Same ball, same time tomorrow.
I love this. I think not only is it pandering to someone that plays tennis, but I think this is super simple. Like I get it. You want a ball that lasts longer. And now, similar to earlier when I was talking about the Quilted Northern campaign, now we're looking at like the dog. What a fun way of looking at an item in a different way. Like not even a tennis player, but a dog, like someone else that benefits from a tennis ball. I think that this language is really, really fun as well. Same ball, same time tomorrow.
Yeah. Like I think there's some nice like headlines here, but I wonder if there is a way to do something that's like more PR-ish, like Serena is retiring, or if there's more things you could do in person, like an experiential thing with tennis players, or I'm not sure, but I feel like this like lends itself to people actually trying it in the real world in some way.
Totally. Was just gonna say that, like with the US Open coming up in a few weeks, like what's something that we can do with a ball longevity, something that just keeps going and going and going. What's something we can do with fans at the US Open? Like more, just a little bit more 360 thinking.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So we did the first and the last. Do you want to check out some of the middle ones?
Yes. So we have Cliff's Notes. The write-up for this is sometimes it's okay to spare the details, which I do love. This one is, oh my God, it's a print ad, and it just says the lion is Jesus, C.S. Lewis. So this is like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it's Cliff's Notes. Get to the point, which is awesome. It's the name of the doctor, which is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. We have another print ad, Talking to Your Kids About Stalin by George Orwell, which is Animal Farm.
Harry, here's the point. don't be mean to the weird girl because she might set you on fire.
Oh, that's awesome. I do feel like that would be a good, like TikTok loves books. So I feel like this would be,
Why is Cliff Notes not already doing that?
I know. It'd be nice. You guys are all get really angry. The Bible, get to the point. Cliff's Notes. I really love this campaign. I think it's
I
really
do
fun.
too.
I would probably put it up like I would put it as the first campaign probably. To me.
I was just gonna say, I obviously we didn't see 2, 3, or the others, but this to me shows a greater strategy and sense of POV to me than High Museum. I would bump this one up.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just think this feels, sometimes, Sarah, I'm sure you've seen like 1,000 books where it feels very, I don't know if the word is student made, but it feels like it's not really a genuine voice, and it kind of feels like forced writing. This to me feels very conversational. It feels very real and authentic. Like, let's be honest, people are using Cliff Notes to BS a paper or BS an in-class conversation.
Yeah, I think this is my favorite one we've seen so far. And I'm just like a freak. Like, I love just write-ups in between everything. Like, I'm very Capricorn. I need like things organized. So I feel like for me, the only thing I would say is maybe like just say like social, and then have your TikToks or whatever, and like print, and then have it like as a write-up. Like, we'll put this almost like how you would with a case study, just a line that's like, we'll put these Cliff Notes things in Barnes and Noble where people are looking at books, just something like that. So you kind of get a sense of like you're placing these in strategic places. And again, with TikTok, I would write that like people are obsessed with books on TikTok. Like
100%.
Book Talk is there.
I was just going to say, I checked this out first on my phone, and I just wanted to give a heads up that the Twitter section is almost illegible on a phone. So I just, as a heads up, everything else turned out great. Looks great. I can't read these on a phone.
That is a really good point. Like, I feel like recruiters probably will look at it on their desktop, but odds are your like creative director, whoever will end up looking at you for the first time, will probably be looking at it while like their dog is drinking a smoothie and like they're on their phone.
If someone's like reviewing quick before an interview or something, that it might just be nice for compatibility.
Yeah. But no, this campaign is awesome. I really like it a lot.
And the simple art direction, perfect.
Looks
like a book cover. I love it.
This is a good one, Max. This is a good one. And then next we'll look at Spotify, which won shortlisted at the Young Ones Student Award. So chic for you.
Good job, Max.
And it says Spotify has been the longtime home for streaming music and podcasts. With the introduction of audiobooks, Spotify has secured themselves as the ultimate place where music and stories collide.
Your favorite songs, your most bingeable podcast, and now your audiobooks. Spotify is where music and stories collide.
It was a pleasure to burn. It was a special pleasure to see things eaten, to see things blackened and changed. With the brass nozzle in his fist.
With a massive streaming library, there are endless audio avenues to explore.
Let the dogs out!
Whatever you want to hear, wherever you are. Music, podcasts, and now audiobooks. Spotify. Hear it here.
Okay, I think for me, I slightly understood it more for the out of home campaigns. But I wonder if it's just something that the line, instead of like hear it here, it might need just like a setup line before it. Like something, this is like bad, but you know, like where music and audiobooks meet or something, hear it here now on Spotify or something.
I said the exact same thing. I said if I was driving down the street and I saw this billboard where it was the Blink 182 album art, and I just saw Hello Nurse, and I saw Hear It Here. I personally, I don't know that now audiobooks are on Spotify. So I think
Yeah.
if there was some type of line, you know what? He says it right here. The
Yeah.
ultimate place where music and stories collide.
I feel like that's like what just needs to be on everything.
That right there is it. Yeah, I feel like that that tells you everything you need to see.
And then just say new audiobooks, or audiobooks are now on Spotify.
100%. But I do like whenever I think of this, I think of I was at a bar once and they did Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus, and it was and the Britney song is on, and then they just keep repeating that, and then Hit Me Baby One More Time comes
Oh,
on.
hell
So
yeah.
I love the like A-B style. But yeah, I mean obviously this did well. They loved it. But
I feel like it does feel like a Spotify campaign, though. Like, I feel like, yeah, he just needs to add a line. But I think if I saw this in the real world, I'd be like, oh, that seems like something Spotify would do.
Can I ask a question to actually all three of you as well, just to open it up? How do you feel? So, if Spotify was a link on a page and you saw a case study video, how do you feel about just a case study video as opposed to then below fully blown out, itemized basically print radio? How do you feel about just seeing a case study video and nothing else?
I was actually going to suggest like it might be nice because it does go by pretty quickly. The out of homes are really nice and I think they're cool. And the mini videos I'm sure are also cool. I would have them underneath just because also there's a chance no one's going to watch your whole case study, unfortunately, even though you made it with love and put time into it.
Absolutely. For an award submission, I think the one video is great, but for sure. Francesca, go ahead.
Yeah, since it won an award, I think it's fine on its own. But typically in other books, not recruiters and creative directors really don't have the time to watch a whole video. So I would definitely add a few more executions at the bottom. That's a good point.
Also, because
and he has
absolutely
them.
you have them. That's the thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Take a clip. Yeah.
Max did have a question for you too. He was wondering how you feel about one-off sections and if you thought his book could benefit from a one-off section. In general, if he loves an execution, is it okay to put it as a one-off, or do you feel like it's like a weaker link because he didn't blow it out or couldn't blow it out?
I guess it's your book. If you like it, you could put whatever in. I feel like I never really look at one-off sections, but maybe I'm just lazy because I feel like if it's its own section and it's not in the front part of your book, there's like a reason for it, kind of. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded when it comes to the one-off section.
No, I think I agree. I'm trying to think about it from if I was a hiring manager and I saw this, I'm thinking, do I think that you couldn't really blow it up any further? This is all the only thing you could come up with. But to me, I was thinking, to me, the Spotify thing in its current form kind of feels like a one-off piece.
Yeah.
But it made us think, oh, this could benefit from being blown up more. So maybe we answered it ourselves. Maybe. Generally,
I tell students that to try and avoid one-offs unless, for instance, they're kind of categorized. So like if an art director is obsessed with like logo designs as well, I think that you could include a series of like cool logos you've designed, and not every one of them has to be like also on like branded packaging. But it's like sort of own category, or like if you like to paint or whatever, like you can include, or if you like are super into manifestos and you've written like a million of them, you could have like a manifesto section. But yeah, in general, I think like a whole series of one-offs like in a section just feels like you couldn't self-edit.
I guess too, like if you have a piece in your book that you do really like, and if it's a one-off, you could always bring it up in your interview. And then it just seems like you're like very passionate. You're like, I also had this like really cool idea. I'm still working on it, but I want to share it with you. I think you could also do that. Just make sure it's cool,
Totally.
because if it's lame, they'll be like, what are you talking to me about?
Absolutely, and that's kind of like one of the strategies we have when we're pitching something, right? We like if we had an idea but it didn't make it to fruition, that's like we call it a back pocket idea. So we'll back pocket that, and it's like Sarah's point, it's a talking point. And I think that's really smart. Don't kill it totally, but just keep it in the back of your mind.
I thought Max's About Me was really clever. Like in general, I always like immediately, and it doesn't even like, I don't even think it's bad, but I've just seen the likes and the dislikes thing so many times in every creator's portfolio, not even juniors. But I think he did it right, because he has like extremely quirky things in his likes and dislikes, which I appreciate. And also I think the line following it up makes it really clever. Now that you know everything in the world there is to know about me, I'd love to know as much about you as you feel comfortable sharing at this point in our relationship. Like, I love just like quirky writing like that.
I do too.
I feel like the About Me page is always like such a dangerous game, because I feel like even mine, like it's just so hard, because you want to seem interesting, but also don't want to like seem just like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a non-swear word to say right now, but like, you just don't want to like look.
You don't want to look like
I don't know if I could say douchey, I guess.
I mean, sure, why not? I don't think children are listening. No, I agree. You don't want to seem like full of yourself or egotistical. You want to just like, I think it comes back to like simple is best, Sarah, as you know, I have every student that I teach write 50 headlines about themselves. And that like genuinely does kind of naturally start to help you think about your About Me section in like a funny way,
Yeah. His is, I do think he's like funny. I'm interested in alligators. Like, how do you like alligators? Literally, when I moved to Florida, everyone was like, don't swim in non-salt water, fresh water, because the alligators are there. So I want to know. I have a fear of alligators. I would love to know what his likes are.
I was just gonna add two things. One of your dislikes is designing websites, which I think is so funny that we're sitting here judging your website, and I think you've done a great job. So I think you can, maybe it's a dislike, but you're good at it. And all of these photos, just the whole thing, we get a really good sense of this guy's personality. Like, I would be really excited to talk to him. This plus, the Cliff Notes campaign, he has a strong sense of humor. And we haven't even talked to him. And so I think it's really cool that you can take that from just, how long has this been? 15 minutes?
The fact that he took circus classes as a child, like, I want to meet him in person immediately. That is so funny.
Yeah, could he still walk on a ball?
I don't know.
I have a lot of questions.
That ringleader picture in the middle, like, he just seems like the coolest person ever. So yeah, absolutely. I think that, and it's also funny because, like, in general, again, I see so many kid pictures on About Me pages, and I feel like sometimes it's like a cop out, like, because you don't want to put your real photo on there, or you don't think you're currently interesting enough, so you're just gonna like put a cute picture of yourself as a kid, because who doesn't love kids? But as in advertising, there is a like loophole to every rule. And if you took circus classes as a child and have the photo proof, those better be on your About Me page.
This is technical, but I love that his email is just like front and center, and so is his phone number. I find it really frustrating when you look at a book and it says like contact me, and then they have to fill out a form. Like, that is so much more time consuming for recruiters to get in touch with you. So now it's like so easy for them to call him, set up an interview, like just email him right through that. That is just really smart and a good way to get in touch with faster. So we want to, wrap up the podcast by asking a final question. So if there was any like takeaway you guys had today, or like a lesson learned overall, what would that be?
I mean, I don't know if this is all encompassing. Sarah, please feel free to say absolutely not. But maybe anchoring everything in a bit of truth, an ounce of truth, and maybe when we're not talking face to face, it helps to be able to read that and see what your strategy was, and so we can tell. And then just keep it as authentic and real and simple as possible. I just keep thinking about that Cliff Notes one. It was authentic. It's how people actually talk. And it was so simple and concise.
No, I agree. I think, and it's also too something to take when you make decks, when you have an agency job, is that don't expect that people will understand what you are saying. Make sure you explain what they're looking at, because otherwise I feel like, I don't want to say don't give people the benefit of the doubt, but like make sure it's like idiot proof in your book, I would say.
I was just gonna end real quick by telling, I don't know if Max was listening, but I was just gonna say, really good job. I was really impressed, and I know that there were some pieces that we didn't get to, and I had just had the time right before this call to kind of swipe through, and I think you're a really great writer, and you have a strong point of view and really good chops. So, way to go, and congratulations on your award.
I can't wait to see where he ends up.
Good job, Max.
Well, thank you guys both so much for being our first guests. This was fun, and you made it easy, and we appreciate your time, and good luck with the rest of your work week.
Yeah. Thank
you. Happy early birthday.
Thanks so much, guys. We will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.